looks like a big, it's in charge of managing your dialysate that gets made from your tap water, is your pure flow down here. Okay, so this is your pure flow. This is your cycler. If you hear the term cabinet, that is this whole box down here, okay? All right. If you hear the term fluid express warmer, that is this. It's this hot plate thing. It's this on top of the machine, okay? So some of these terms, they may seem big and stuff, and then you're like, what in the heck is that? That's all that means, okay? This is the fluid express warmer. This is your next stage cycler. This is your cabinet. This is your pure flow, okay? So like I was telling you guys earlier, the very beginning of treatment today, you have two ways of getting your dialysate. One is using the hanging bags, and the other is using the pure flow. You guys will be using pure flow 9 times out of 10, unless if there's issues with water or something like that, or you're doing traveling. Sometimes it's a lot more convenient, obviously, to do these then. If we're looking at actual parts of the cycler itself has its actual touch screen here. On the touch screen, we do have a few of our keys and buttons. The home screen is going to be your rate screen. So you may see that sometimes in some of your videos where it says the rate screen. And how do you know it's the rate screen? Because things are in liters per hour, or milliliters per minute, okay? If you ever see the term add fluid key, it's this picture of a water spigot over a bucket. And during certain parts of the treatment, you can't press it. The machine is smart. It grays out some things so that way you can't accidentally do foolish things while you're doing your treatment. If you see this little beaker looking thing here with an L on it, this is called the volume toggle. If we hit the volume toggle, it toggles us to the volume screen. In the volume screen, you have 2 volumes. You have your dialysate volume, which means the cleaner, and then you have your UF volume, which means how much are we taking out of you. So right now, if we look at our screen, it's showing that we have about 5.9 liters of cleaner left, and we are not taking any more fluid off you. We already took off all the fluid. You're good to go. If you notice the volume down here, the blood part, on the other screen, it would change the blood flow rate, how quickly your blood's going in and going back out, right? Coming out and going back in. On this screen, we can't change anything on it. It's just there to just let you know it's the volume screen, okay? Down here, we have our green kidney button. Right now, it is grayed out because he's already doing his treatment. Now, if you were to have an alarm or something like that, and you resolve the alarm, the green kidney button is the way to restart the treatment after you fix the problem. So like earlier, whenever we got started, right?
Right.
We had to reverse your lines. Well, after we reversed your lines, we had to tell the machine to start again. So the green button is to initiate the treatment, to start the treatment, and to also resume the treatment after we fix an alarm or some other issue, okay? The stop button is to stop the machine. You can also use it to terminate treatment early. Now, without going into too much detail, because we're going to go over that in week 3, there is a way to terminate treatment early if there is an emergency, like let's say a tornado or a fire in the house. There is a way to terminate treatment early and return all your blood if you have time. There's also a way to terminate treatment and get out right now if there is no time. Okay, so there's 2 scenarios there. One meaning like you got like a little fire or something and you have time to come off and return your blood. The other case maybe being that there's a tornado in your front yard. You got to get to safety now. We don't have time to mess with this. We got to clamp, go.
How much blood is left in the machine if you just clamp and go?
Approximately 270 mLs. So about quarter of a liter. Yes, sir. Give or take. So if you're looking at it from a perspective of this bag is a solid liter, you would have about up to that point. That's how much blood you lose. So, and that does look like a lot, and it is a lot if you had it happen several times. But fortunately and hopefully, we're not having to do a true emergency disconnect like that a lot.
Yeah.
And later on, whenever we do go over the emergency disconnect procedure, we're going to go over things of like, okay, how do you do it safely, and what are some things you might need to do to this after the fact. But today is only day 2. We're not going to go over that, but just know that week 3 we go over that.
Okay.
So that way you have the peace of mind of knowing what to do in the event that there is a true emergency. Because there may be a day where, hopefully it never happens, but if you did, you had a tornado warning or something like that, you have to tell this machine, hey, I know I got 2 hours left of treatment, but I ain't got 2 hours.
Right.
There's also a way to terminate the treatment early if, let's say, you had really bad diarrhea or something. There's a way to tell this machine how to stop the treatment and go ahead and return your blood and do it that way.
Okay, say he has diarrhea,
Yes, ma'am.
but he goes diarrhea and wants to come back onto it. Can he not do that?
It's a one-time use only. That is one key difference between this
Okay.
machine and those machines.
Yeah.
So in that machine, you remember how they could do that little recirculator
Right.
and hook you right back up? With this, it's one and done.
Okay.
So my advice is this: if you have a day where you got an upset stomach, load yourself up on some Imodium or something to kind of stop it, and don't hook yourself up until you feel like you're
Everything's
good to go. Yeah, because here's the problem: if you hook yourself up, and 10 minutes in you're like, "Ooh, I gotta go," well, you're gonna take yourself off. You start the machine gives you some fluid. To take yourself off, it gives you more fluid.
Mhm.
So if you literally hooked up and in 5 minutes time you're having to come right off, you didn't do anything except give yourself more fluid. You didn't even clean your blood, you didn't remove the fluids, the toxins are still in there, and your electrolytes are still going to be high. You didn't do anything to any of that. So my advice is that if you do have a queasy or unset stomach, try to get that fixed first and then do it. Now, if you were, like right now, you have, let's see, is it 20 minutes left? You have 20 minutes left. So let's say right now, you're like, ooh, I gotta go to the bathroom right now. Well, you've done the majority of your treatment. In that case, return your blood and everything, and then you're gonna call and let us know. And say, hey, look, I had really bad diarrhea, I had to come off the machine. I had about 24 minutes left of my treatment. Okay. We'll just tell you, okay, you're going to need to watch your fluids. Unless if, like right now, did you get all your fluids off? Yeah, I got all my fluids off. Okay, good. But, if you didn't get all your fluids off, we're going to be telling you, okay, you're going to need to watch your fluids then. Because what's going to happen is because we didn't get that last almost half hour, there's going to be some fluids we didn't take off. Don't want you getting overloaded.
So basically, right now, all it's doing is just filtering.
Yes, sir. Right now, it's just cleaning your blood. It's got done taking off that fluid. It's just cleaning you up. And it's also balancing your potassium, too. So your potassium is up here, and it's steadily bringing it back down to normal.
Okay.
Because if this machine were to somehow go from 0 to 60 on your potassium like that, if you change your potassium really quick like that, it can cause some really bad things to happen in you. Your heart can start acting kind of funny. Remember the heart palpitations?
Mm-hmm.
Chest pain? Don't want that. Another thing too, if we somehow manage to go the wrong way, if your potassium goes from being too high and it gets too low, you could be extremely weak. You could get up out of this chair and your legs just fell on it, and you could fall, bust your head open or something. We don't want that. So that's the reason why this thing goes as slow as it does, and that's the reason why it takes the time it does, because it has to do it at a safe rate.
Mm-hmm.
And cut treatment short, it didn't do its job.
Right.
But yes, that's the basics of the touchscreen on this. Another thing we'll look at are these little pinwheels. So if you look, you see this little pinwheel on the dialysate, right? It's spinning. That means it's cleaning your blood. On your blood flow rate, see how it's spinning? That means it's circulating your blood. But if you look on the yellow, there's nothing going on. This machine is telling you, hey, I am cleaning your blood and I am circulating your blood so it doesn't clot. But I am not taking anything off. That's all this is telling you.
Is that because it's taken everything that it needed? Right?
It took everything it needed already off. Yes, ma'am.